Hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. You are in the middle of the week. I hope it is a great week that you are having. And you are creating with Colleen today. My name is Colleen Magnus. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on the East Coast of Virginia. And today is September 14th. By now you probably have the kids in school. Hopefully everybody is getting on a little bit of a fall schedule. Praise God, our humidity dropped some, and I think we're going to have a gorgeous couple of weeks coming up. So today we are going to make a card with the storybook gnomes. Now you may be a gnome person, you may not, but they are pretty stinking cute. I got to tell you that. And so I'm going to introduce you to this suite. I have some cards to show you. This is actually from my dear friend Tanya Reed. She created this card and he was adorable. And then today I'm going to show you how to make a gnome easel card. So with an easel card, it's great because it's a beautiful card. You can open it wishing you lots of love, joy, and happiness this Christmas season. But what makes it an easel card is it gets supported like an easel. So this way, when you have it on your desk like such, it's just great. It's really kind of cute to put on there as a little bit of a decoration. So let me go ahead and introduce you to this suite. And then at the end, stick with me because I'm going to tell you about some specials that Stampin' Up! Has going on and getting ready to come up. So for example, we have a great sale starting tomorrow that I'll tell you about at the end. So I'll try to watch my screen as you pop on. But today, again, we're creating with the gnomes. And I actually borrowed this from Tanya because she is a gnome person and I wasn't sure if I was. I mean, they're adorable, but I have to say the more I create with it, the more I enjoy them. So on page 42 and page 43 of your July through December mini catalog, you will see the Storybook Gnomes suite. Now this is an awesome suite. Y'all have to know with Stampin' Up! When everything coordinates, it just makes creating so easy. So I'm going to show you all the products. The only one that I don't have available because I've used it and have to get more is the Balmy Blue and White 3/8 inch double stitched ribbon. That is part of the suite. But what comes in the suite is you have the Kindest Gnomes stamp set, which is adorable, some cute little sayings in here. Then you have the dies. So these are the dies. And of course, when you look at the stamp, all the gnomes and the mushroom have dies that will cut them out. Plus you have some other dies that you create your own mushroom, and you can make a gnome just from the dies, and that's what we're going to do today. In addition to that, the designer paper is great. So I'm going to show you this paper real quick, and always remember Stampin' Up! Has the best designer paper, and there's two sides to every sheet. So even if you are not a gnome person, which hopefully you will be after this video, you can still get this designer paper and it works great. So we have the mushrooms. The die cuts the mushrooms. Absolutely love when Stampin' Up! Does that. So you have the mushrooms. And then on this side, you do have some little fox and friends. You've got the reindeer, the bucks, and some little gnomes. Here, this is great for Christmas. This is great for New Year's. Love the blue. Always think of January as blue. So we have that on one side, and these trees I absolutely love. What a gorgeous wintry scene to create cards with. Here you have mushrooms. That will go with anything. Doesn't have to be a gnome. And then this gorgeous snowflake paper. Again, just think Christmas, New Year's, January, winter. Very generic. Here you have some more gnomes. But again, on the other side, you have a beautiful, got a little piece of glue there. You have a beautiful piece of pool party, almost looks like a tapestry kind of design. These are little gnomes, and again, what's so cute is the dies. You can cut them out, so you don't even have to color your gnomes. You have them right there. This I love. This I absolutely love. Again, another great winter design. And then, of course, we have our little fox and friends with some beautiful trees on the back. So the paper itself is very versatile. Then we have the Fine Sparkle Adhesive Back Gems, which coordinate with the colors. And something we're going to use today that I think is a lot of fun is Snowfall Accents Puff Paint. You may have played with puff paint in the past, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm going to show you how to use that today. But first, let me welcome who's on here. Let me see. I have Julie and Joyce, Diane. Thanks so much for joining. I'm sure everybody else will be coming in just a bit. But Cindy Stanton, y'all know whenever I do my Facebook Lives that if you leave a comment, if you share my page or like my page, your name goes into a drawing to receive the project that I made that day. So last week I made this really cute little Tombow liquid glue holder. I've got the video on my Facebook page, and it's great because your Tombow liquid glue will go right inside. So when you're creating, you just pick it up. You're not forever trying to shake it to the end. It'll go inside. So Cindy, I have this broken down. You've seen the video because you were here last week, and you'll know how to put it together. I do have your address already because you're a dear customer, and I will send that in the mail to you this week. So I originally was going to try to show you all of the pieces at one time when we make this, but I think that would be overwhelming. I really do. So I'm going to kind of break it in sections. I'll show you the card base first, then we'll do the front, and then we'll do the inside. So here again, it's an easel card. So an easel card gets propped up and it makes a cute little card to sit on your desk. Kind of brings you happiness right there while you're working. So first what you're going to need is a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 of Pacific Point. It's a beautiful bright blue and the brights colors. Then you are going to score it at 4 1/4. So I have my score like such. Put that there. Then one of the things I'm going to do, I am going to cut a strip to this first score line on the left side at 1 1/4 inches, and then I'm going to score 2 inches up on the right side. So with that, let me get my paper trimmer. So again, on the left side, so I can turn it this way, I am going to cut at 1 1/4. So here's my 1 1/4 inch. I'll just put it up there, bring my blade to that score line, and that's my cut. Now with this piece, I need it to bend. See how it's scored? That's what makes it an easel card. So I am going to, from 2 inches up here, I'm just going to score it. So I'll turn it this way, put it on my 2 inches. Make sure you got your score blade and not your cutting blade. Otherwise, you will be making a whole new card. Oops, I didn't score that well. I don't think my blade was there. My blade was not snapped in there well. Let me do that again. So here I have my 2 inches. Yeah, I could feel that scoring this time. All right, see my score line? So let me set that aside. So I will now score, fold this up, just make sure it's even, and crease that. So that is the base for an easel card. And you can also do this vertical too. If I had a card this way, you would just score your base going vertical. I've made those also. So for this part here, I am going to attach the 1 by 4 inch piece of the Storybook Gnomes designer paper. And I will just put this, let me put on that piece over here. So I'm just going to layer this on here all the way around. I've got a little bit of an edge. And I'm going to tape this piece down. It becomes part of the base of the card. So there I have that taped at the side. And I have this part here. So to create this card, you are going to take a piece. This is now what I'm going to create to go onto the front here. So for those pieces, I have a 4 inch square of balmy blue. And I have a basic white 1 by 13/16 by 3/16 inch square. Okay, y'all know I was a previous drafter, so I'm not afraid of my ruler. You could also cut this 1 3/4. 1 3/4 square. The only reason I did it 1 by 13/16, I just wanted it to be like a 1/16 inch bigger. So when I put it on here, I don't have quite as thick of an edge of the balmy blue. This would still work, cutting it by 1 3/4. Your edge of balmy blue would just be a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to have for the banner, it's a basic white banner, and I got this from the Stylish Shapes dies. That is an amazing die set that I have really been using a lot. And I think I got them right here. Let me show you. Okay, so the Stylish Shapes has this wonderful banner die that stitches while you do the dies. But then you open it up and you have all these amazing shapes. You have different size banners, your circles, and your squares. So you can use them with all types and styles of cards. Again, that's called the Stylish Shapes dies. And then we're going to make a little gnome. He is so stinking cute, and all the pieces fit together. I'll show you how to do that. And then from one of the designer paper pieces, I just cut this little fox. So I'm going to put those aside there. Now, for the basic white square, I have already embossed it with the Wintry 3D folder embossing folders. So these are great, two great designs for the cards. I don't know if you can see it here, so I guess I should show you. They're a 3-inch folder, but you can still, I've actually embossed larger pieces. I've just done part of the cardstock, slid it over, got the rest. So you can emboss a bigger piece of cardstock with this, or just use it as the 3 inches. And then, let me show you this, you'll probably see it better. So here you have your pine leaves, like your Christmas leaves, your evergreen, and then you have your snowflakes. So what I did is I took my basic white, I put it in the folder. So I have the line. I love how they have the lines, although this is very forgiving since it's a whimsical type design. Doesn't have to be straight. But I put it on the edge here and all the way up at the top, like that. So I don't have it embossed down here because that's where I'm going to make the snow for my little gnome. So I ran this through my die cutting machine, my embossing machine, and this is what I have. So snowflakes at the top, but not down here, because I am going to use that Snowfall Accents puff paint. Now, I had used this years and years ago. This is what it looks like. It is part of the suite, but you can buy it individually, and you really want to shake it up really well. When I emboss or use any kind of heat tool, I like to take a piece of cardboard that I have wrapped tinfoil around. I think it kind of helps reflect the heat on the back. So what I'll do here, when you do this also, I'm going to show you, there's a fine tip. And again, I'm just putting a little bit of snow strips in here. I'm not going to cover this whole thing, but I just want to have a little bit of a puffiness. Here we go, for my gnome. Now, it's good idea to have a tissue and wipe this off. I don't, but I was pretty neat. I didn't get it all over. You don't want to get this all inside the cap, because if you do, you're going to have a hard time getting it off next time. And basically that goes for any type of glue. Always make sure that the top is clean, or you at least don't have it in the threads, so it's much easier to open this. Aw, Kay and Carl are here. Kay and Carl always go camping. I want to be, Danny and Colleen want to be Kay and Carl soon, because they always get to go camping. And Carl is such a sweetheart. He lets Kay listen to my videos and the Facebook Lives while they are on the way to camping. Carl, you're an awesome man. Kay loves you, and I do too. Thanks for your support. So let me move these pieces before I emboss with the heat gun. Now with the heat gun, I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm just going to let it heat up for just a minute, and then I'm going to hold it over here, and hopefully you can see, it takes just a minute or so, but you'll be able to see the puff paint when it, let me see here, when it starts heating up. It does take a minute, And I have it just a little thick on there. But how fun to add some extra texture to your card. You see it's starting to dry and puff up. Let me see if you can see that. So I'm thinking, I haven't tried it yet, but you could even take this and kind of brush it on, kind of like a paint on, and it would still work. So there, that did not take long. There I have my little snowdrifts on my card. So I'll give it just a minute. It sets up pretty quick, but I don't want to like turn this over and put tape on it quite yet. I want this to set up a little bit because it turns hard in no time. It's already feeling great. So I'm going to set this aside and just quickly show you how to make the gnome. So with the dies, you can create your own gnome. You don't need the stamp set, although you can use the stamp set or you can use your designer paper. But on here, when you emboss, I'm hoping you can see this. Yes, you can. On here, when you emboss the beard and everything, it shows you where the nose goes. It shows you where the hat goes on each side of the nose. So you can make a perfect gnome every single time. So what I'll do is I am going to just put a little bit of liquid glue on his nose. And again, these are the dies. So I took the die for his nose and I used Petal Pink. Kind of gave a great skin color as far as that goes. Now I'm going to take his hat, because his hat will go on top. But on these two sides here that I was showing you, I'm going to put a little bit of the liquid glue. And then I can take this, and it goes right where the lines are. So, I mean, how easy is that? No guesswork. I love that. I do enough guessing in life. I don't want to have to guess when I'm making my little man, my little gnome. So I have him here. Now I want him embossed up on his feet. So now what I'll do is I'm just going to take two of the mini dimensionals and put them right here. So I will take my little dimensionals off, and then I can just put him right on the feet. I kind of like his beard to just barely be above the bottom of his legs. Push down, and just that quick and easy, you have a stinking cute little gnome. So I'll take my Wink of Stella, because you have to find a place to put some bling and some shimmer. So his beard will be shimmering, because I think gnomes are old, aren't they? I should have a little gray pen in there, but that still works. And there I have my gnome. So I'll take my embossed and puff paint square, and I'm going to put it on this 4-inch square of balmy blue. In fact, actually, I'll put it on with my liquid glue. So I'll just run this on here. Put it back in my little box. How cute is that? And then layer this up. And I really do like using the liquid glue because I can move it to get everything nice and centered. So here I have, you know what? I got a little gap there. I'm going to put just a little bit more underneath there, just to make sure that stays down nice and close. Okay. So that is my base. I will take my gnome. He's going to go there. Again, you have all these little fox and friends in here. So I'm just going to take my paper snips, the best paper scissors in the world, might I add. And when I cut, I just kind of leave just a very little edge of white around my image. I don't necessarily cut on the image, but you could if that's what you would want to do. So I have my little, let me put that there, my little fox, and then I need my banner. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and what I did, because, you know, I want things to look good for y'all, so I stamped this first, and then I lined it up with my banner. I think that always is better when you have something really close, But, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's see how my luck is running today. See if I can actually stamp this banner. I knew if I had photopolymer I could, but it's hit or miss with this. So let's see. You know, feeling risky today. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. Slightly crooked, so as a drafter, that's not going to cut it. So I'll use the one that I already did. Hey, Michelle, glad you are here. So to put this together, I already have this part popped up with dimensionals. So I am just going to put a regular size dimensional in the middle of my gnome and on the top of his hat. So this little guy is going to come down here. Just like that. So Joyce, are you watching from the beach or are you home today? Joyce loves the beach and she's fortunate enough she gets to spend a lot of time there. Okay, so there's my little gnome. Now I'm also going to put my fox on with some dimensionals. Right here. There's always a delay in Facebook. Oh, she's home today. Okay. Okay, well, you know, tomorrow's always another day. And I think we're supposed to have a beautiful week, so that's awesome. So here I have my gnome. Now, I want this to pop up, but I'm not going to put a dimensional here because his hat is already popped up with a dimensional. So what I'm going to do is put two small ones on the left side, and then just a little bit of adhesive. So that's going to stick to his hat, but it's all going to be the same level. So I'm going to put them here. And of course, we need some of that bling. So I'm going to take the fine sparkle adhesive back gems. And I will open these little puppies up. They're so cute. And again, you have to love when Stampin' Up! Has everything coordinate. You know, how awesome is that? Especially when you're color challenged like I am. So let me get this guy up. I'm going to put this actually, when I embossed this, I wanted this larger snowflake to be here so I could put one in the center. Let me do a different color over here. And I will take this one and put it right on top here on the edge. So I'll set those aside. So the front is actually good to go. So when I put this on here, you only want to put adhesive down on the bottom. And it's actually going to be, if you look at this, you're going to have the edge of the Pacific point. But the reason your tape is only at the bottom of that fold is so it will come up as your easel card. So I recommend putting it here. Again, let's just use our liquid glue. And keep in mind you have kind of like, except for the top here, you really do have kind of like 1/8 of an inch on the side. So don't get too close to your edges. And y'all know with this glue, this adhesive, it really is strong, so you don't need to douse it. So I will put this on here. And this is going to, let me slide it just a little bit. Okay, so that is the front of my card. And then I have the easel. So you have to have something to prop this up. A lot of times, like I probably, if I didn't have the Merry Christmas on the front, you know, I could have put that here, but you have to have something to hold this easel in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the inside. So I'm going to take these other parts for the inside, and I have taken pictures of all these pieces, and I will put them on the Facebook page as soon as I am done today. They are cropped and ready to go. But you're going to have a 4-inch square of basic white. You are going to have a piece that is 4 by 1 7/8 inch of Pacific Point. A piece of the Storybook Gnomes Designer Series paper that is 4 by 1 3/4. And then, because I'm doing this part here just a little different, and I'll tell you why when I do it. But then for this here, I have 2 7/8 by 1 1/8 Pacific Point, because I wanted that smaller edge. And then a 1 by 3 inch piece of basic white. So again, I'll go out on a limb here. Y'all know, as I said, I'll teach you what to do. I'll teach you what not to do. But I do promise to teach you something. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my lovely labels Pick-a-Punch, and I'm going to actually cut this before I stamp it. And the nice thing about the labels Pick-a-Punch is you have two ends that you can choose from, and you can do 3 different widths. You can do a 1/2 inch, 3/4, or 1 inch. So all of these labels will layer on each other. So what I'm going to do, you have your tracks here, it slides right in, but I like to also turn it over on the other side just to make sure that it's nice and straight. So I'm going to punch each side. So I already have my design, my beautiful label. Hey, Steph, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for joining. The nice thing about a Facebook Live is even if you can't join live, you can always catch it another time because it's always saved on my page. So this, I needed another saying. So another one of my favorites here is the Sweet Candy Canes stamp set. And this it's an awesome suite too. It's in the mini catalog. And the nice thing about it is that it has, again, the designer paper, the embellishments, the dies that go with it. And again, you can just cut from the designer paper. Very nice suite. But I wanted to use the words, wishing you lots of love, joy, and happiness this Christmas season will bring. So now that I have that, I'm going to take my piece here. Kind of hard to see white on white and not directly over it, but hey, y'all know I have one already stamped. Ooh, that turned out pretty good. Okay, so I have this piece, and what I'm going to do is I am going to take this and tape it onto that 2 7/8 by 1 1/8 piece of Pacific Point. There were many blues that coordinated with this paper. You had lots of options. Thanks, Janet. Janet thinks it's cute. She must be a gnome person. And if not, maybe we can make her one. Okay. So it's an easel card, Janet. It's easy to make, much easier than you would think. Okay, so I have my words here. Now what I'm going to do for these 2 pieces, when I did the original one, let me show you that. I didn't want the words to hold it. I felt like I wanted, I don't know, I didn't like that. I wasn't feeling it. It was just kind of too close to the top. So then I thought, well, I'll go ahead and pop the designer paper up. I backed it on a piece of white cardstock so it was heavier. And went ahead and did that. But you know what? I still didn't like it because I wanted to have an edge of this Pacific Point. I don't know why I was so picky this morning, but I was. So I had nobody to bounce it up against in the stamp room. So I said, let me find a way around this. So what I did, this Pacific Point is only about 1/8 of an inch wider. They're both the same length. So I'm going to take this, and when I tape it on, as I told you, I didn't think the designer paper would be strong enough to hold the easel card, so I needed to back it on cardstock. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm actually putting it on the bottom. God willing, let me see. Here we go. I'm going to put it on my edge. Yes. But I wanted to have that edge at the top because, again, I kind of wanted everything to be surrounded by the Pacific Point. Hey, Gwen, glad you're here. Always glad you're here. So now what I'm going to do when I put it on here, I could put it flat, but that's not a big enough edge to hold the easel part. So when I first did it, I kind of put it like this with all dimensionals, and I didn't like that because then I had a gap down here. Y'all just don't know what it was like in the room today. But I got it all the way I wanted it for you. So what I'm doing is on the top, I'm actually going to put my dimensionals. I'm going to glue it on the sides and the bottom so it's flat, but you have that little bit of an edge to catch it. That is what made me happy. So let's see how it goes. So I'm going to take these off. I will take my adhesive, my Tombow liquid, go around. So I can put this at the bottom. Make sure it's where I want it. You can always check your backside to make sure you're good. So what I really have is it's nice and smooth down on the bottom and the sides. Let me hold that just a second. But I have that edge that I can catch at the top. So I will take this little 4x4 piece. This is going to be the inside of my card. And I will just center this here. Okay. So this way, when I do it, okay, now when I do that, I hope you can see that. It's kind of hard to hold it at this angle. But you can see I would have that Pacific point all the way around. That made me happy. Don't ask me why. I just, it's good when it all comes together. Even if you did pull your card apart 6 or 7 times. And then on here, I wanted that to stand out like so. So, my friends, this is the Storybook Gnome Easel Card. You have it on the front, opens up, wish them a Merry Christmas, and then this can sit on a desk or a counter or anywhere, and they can think of you every time that they look at it. So, as you know, if you go ahead, again, leave a comment. If you like, share, I will go ahead and somebody will win this lovely card. I'll do a drawing next week. But I did want to tell you just of a few more specials Stampin' Up! Has. Tomorrow, for one day only, they are offering all of the stamp sets in the annual catalog at 15% off. Now that does not include the Hostess sets, but any other stamp set in the annual catalog is 15% off September 15th, tomorrow only. And keep in mind, if you are a demonstrator, you still get your 20 to 25% savings off of that. So that could be 40% off any of the sets in here. I will have this going out in a newsletter today. If you currently don't get my newsletter, please go to creatingwithcolleen.com and request it. And this way you'll be kept up on all the specials. Today, for our weekly deals, for the month of September, we are offering weekly deals. So we have this week's, these expire today. It is the Textured Chic Memories and More cards, the Memories and More cards and envelopes, Trinkets Adhesive Backed Flowers, the Rose Gold 12x12 specialty paper. That is beautiful. Normally $10 on sale for $8. All these items are reduced. Soft Succulent Ribbon, Slimline Envelopes, the White Frayed Ribbon, which I'm going to be getting me some of that today. The Snowy White Velvet Sheets, Fresh Freesia Open Weave Ribbon, Soft Pastel Assortment, and the Real Red Ribbon. All those are marked down through today. This went out in my newsletter, so you should be able to see it there. And tomorrow, we will get a new week of deals. So last day to order the week 2 deals. Week 3 will come out tomorrow. Just trying to keep all this straight. But then again, you get the stamp sets too. So if you would like to order and your order is under $150, please use my host code for the month of September. And gosh, I just appreciate you all being here with me today. I love stamping. I love what I do. And I'm slowly becoming a gnome person because he is pretty stinking cute. So don't forget to leave your message. And I just wish you all happiness today. Hey, Miss Patty, go back and you can watch from the start. But I do wish you happiness. I wish you a blessed day. And, if there's ever anything I could do for you, all you have to do is ask. I'm always here to help you. You can email me or send me a private message. So take care, my friends. Do something creative today. And if you're in Virginia, it's a pretty day. Get out and do something outside. Take care now. Bye-bye. I will see you next Wednesday on the 21st. Take care.